live in a small LA apartment with a tiny yet wonderful kitchen. It's where you'll find me most days doing one of my favorite things.
Best smell ever.
My name is Rachel. I love organic produce. I love to cook and I love to eat. Welcome to A Cooking Show with Rachel O. This week's feast!
Hi friends! Let's see what's in this week's Abundant Harvest Organics box. We have some lettuce, watermelon radishes, collard greens, lots of carrots, spinach, some arugula, mustard greens, some thyme, butternut squash. We got oranges. Ta-da! Some pears, potatoes. That's all, friends! Today I am making fancy pizza. Pizza with roasted butternut squash on it. Yum. And bacon. I really like bacon. To make my pizza crust, you will need some yeast, salt, barley, organic, extra virgin olive oil, some honey, whole wheat flour, all-purpose flour. You'll also need a cup of hot water between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to start by adding 1 tablespoon of yeast to my water. I'll whisk that in. Then I'm just going to add a smidge of honey. You can add sugar if you would prefer. We're going to let that stand for 5 minutes. We need about 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Add about 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour. Next, we'll add about a teaspoon of salt and 1 1/2 tablespoons of honey. We're also going to add about 1 1/2 tablespoons of olive oil. Our yeast mixture has gotten all nice and puffy. We're going to add our yeast mixture and we're going to start to mix it up. Once it starts to come together like this, add a little bit more flour as it starts to incorporate. Just adding a little bit at a time. Once it's too difficult to stir with a spoon, then you can start to knead it. I forgot to put an apron on. Today I'm just going to use some wax paper and sprinkle it with flour to keep the counter from getting too dirty. We've got our dough on a lightly floured surface. You're just going to start by folding over, pushing with the heel of your hand. Knead. Sprinkle a little more flour if the dough starts to stick to you. Fold over. Oil a bowl. We're just going to put our dough in there, turning once to coat. I'm going to put a slightly damp tea towel over top of it and put it in a warm spot. This week's pizza. Okay. This week's pizza is inspired by butternut squash. It will also have bacon, red pepper flakes, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, and onion. Peel the squash. I'm going to slice my butternut squash in half and then in half again. Then I'm going to cut it into thin slices. I'm going to place my squash on a baking sheet. I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. Sprinkle it with a little bit of salt too. And then we're going to let it bake for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to cook up some bacon. I'm chopping my onion. With a vegetable peeler, I'm just going to shave some thin pieces of Parmesan cheese. You should probably try some. Let's have a peek at our dough. Looks like it's almost ready. To roll out our pizza dough, we will need a rolling pin. You can also toss it in the air if you know how to do that. The dough on there, thin it out a little bit. My mom, I remember, would use her hands just like this. Lightly flour your rolling pin. I like to roll mine out a little bit over the edge so that I can make a crust. And a little bit of olive oil in my hand. We're going to top our pizza now with a little bit of olive oil and salt and crushed red pepper. Our squash just came out of the oven and our pizza is about to go in. The crust is all ready to be topped. Got a little bit more olive oil. We're going to top it with some Parmesan cheese, our squash. Oh yeah, bacon. Crumble. We're going to top it with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Back into the oven. I forgot to put the onions on the pizza! The pizza's ready and I am hungry. It's a little bit crispy because I cooked it for a little bit extra because I had forgotten the onions. So just follow my instructions and it should be just fine. Thanks for watching this week's feast. For this recipe and more, click on the link on the YouTube page. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, to like De Ma Cuisine on Facebook, and to add De Ma Cuisine to your Google Reader. Thank you for watching!